This is a spoiler-free review of Moral Dilemma: The Interview. If you are even remotely into narrative or experimental indie games, I highly recommend checking this game out for yourself after watching this video. It's a weird and funny experience that's definitely worth diving into blind if you can. I actually found out about this game while looking for something fresh to review. A friend recommended Moral Dilemma to me and I figured, why not give it a try? I went in with zero expectations, and what I ended up playing completely surprised me in the best way possible. Moral Dilemma is a fourth wall breaking narrative adventure comedy where you play as an average person heading into what seems like a normal job interview. But from the very beginning, things feel a little off. You're greeted by a narrator who begins guiding you through an increasingly bizarre and surreal interview process. As the interview progresses, the game slowly reveals that not everything is as it seems. Anomalies start popping up. Weird hallways, strange puzzles, and unexpected twists. It all feels very superliminal-esque at times. It constantly plays with your expectations and perception, which makes the experience feel fresh and unpredictable. The gameplay itself is a mix of puzzles, minigames, and interactive narrative choices. You're not just walking from room to room. You're actively participating in different challenges that tie into the strange job interview you're undergoing. Each task is framed as a part of the interview process, which gives everything a humorous but eerie tone. What I love about the gameplay is that it's actually fun and never feels like filler. Every puzzle or minigame feels intentional, and most are clever or funny in their own right. Some even made me laugh out loud, while others completely caught me off guard. One of my absolute favorite things about Moral Dilemma is how much it encourages you to replay it. There are a bunch of different endings, many of which I haven't even seen yet, and each choice you can make can take the story in a completely different direction. The branching paths feel natural, not forced, and every playthrough reveals something new. What's even cooler about the game is it actually tracks how many times you've played. The narrator's dialogue and certain events change depending on what attempt you're on. It's a very clever mechanic that makes each run feel fresh and makes you want to keep exploring more of the game. Now let's talk about the story, which is both hilarious and deeply strange. On the surface, it's a surreal comedy about a corporate job interview gone wrong, but as you go deeper, you start picking up on clues that something darker is going on beneath the surface. There's a weird tension that builds over time, and you start wondering what this company is really about. As you progress, bits and pieces of a disturbing corporate secret start to emerge. Nothing is ever spelled out directly, which makes it even more fun to speculate. It's the kind of story that requires paying attention and thinking critically. You'll probably walk away from your first playthrough with more questions than answers, but in the best way possible. Luckily though, this game never takes itself too seriously, which works in its favor. This is by no means at all a horror game. It's just a fun, silly puzzle game with a strange story. Another fun aspect of this game is its inclusion of collectibles. I've always loved games that reward exploration, and Moral Dilemma does that really well. Scattered throughout the game are hidden objects and optional dialogue paths that you can only get if you purposefully search for them. These collectibles aren't just for show either. They actually add to the game's lore and atmosphere. Some of them hint at deeper story elements, while others are just fun surprises. Between the multiple endings and these hidden gems, the replayability factor shoots way up. It gives players more reasons to revisit the game again and again. Moral Dilemma: The Interview completely took me by surprise. What I thought would be a simple, quirky indie game turned out to be one of the most interesting and entertaining experiences I've had in a while. Its mix of surreal humor and smart design makes it stand out. The fact that this game keeps evolving with each playthrough is something I really respect. The branching paths, dynamic narrator, and hidden content shows just how much thought and love went into this project. It's genuinely impressive. If you're someone who loves games like the Stanley Parable, Superliminal, or Undertale, I think Moral Dilemma will be right up your alley. It's smart, funny, and endlessly replayable. Honestly, I can't wait to see what the developers do next, because this is not the end of Moral Dilemma. A sequel has already been announced and is in the works right now. If you enjoyed this review, feel free to subscribe. I have more reviews and challenge runs coming soon. And if you've played Moral Dilemma, let me know in the comments. And thank you all so much for watching.